The story of Ida Sophia Scudder. Once upon a time in America, New Jersey, there was a wonderful doctor named John Scudder. In 1819, at a very young age of 25, he was earning a lot of money, almost $2,000 a year. He's not only a doctor but a good believer of Jesus Christ. Once when he was in his hospital, an evangelist came and gave him a flyer. The header read, "The responsibility of the church for the perishing people." He was deeply touched and he made it his mission to give the gospel to the perishing people. On June 8, 1819, John Scudder came to Kolkata in India with his wife. At this time, William Carey, also known as the father of modern mission, was also in India doing God's work. John stayed with him for a while and learned all about India. He had a daughter that was 2 years old. Unfortunately, because of the harsh weathers in India, she died. After spending 4 months with William Carey, they moved to northern Sri Lanka. There they had another daughter, but unfortunately she died too. But they still were never discouraged and never thought about going back to America. In fact, it helped them have more faith in God. After doing a lot of missionary work in Sri Lanka, they moved to Madras in India. In Madras, John worked as a medical missionary and helped the poor and did God's work. John also prayed to God to send at least 14 more people to help him with the missionary work. But God inspired 50 of John's family members and they all came to India and served as medical missionaries. Fortunately, in Madras, John gave birth to many children. One of the child's name was John Scudder Jr. When John Scudder Jr. grew up, he also became a medical missionary and worked in Madras, the same city as his father. John Scudder Jr. gave birth to Ida Sophia Scudder in 1870. From childhood, Ida Scudder saw the hard work her father and grandfather did to be missionaries. She was afraid to be a missionary and she wanted to go back to America and marry a rich man. Eventually, she went to America and studied for 20 years. But in 1890, her mother got very sick and Ida came to Madras to visit her. After a few days, her mother started feeling better. One night, after finishing her dinner, Ida was reading her Bible and doing prayer. She heard a knock on the door. When she went to open it, she saw a Brahmin man. He asked Ida to give medical assistance to his wife who was in labor. She replied, "I did not learn medicine, but my father would be willing to help." But the Brahmin told it is better for his wife to die rather than being cheated by a strange man, and he went his way. Ida was shocked by the man's reply and returned back to her study. A few minutes later, a Muslim man came and asked the same thing. Again, she replied that she didn't learn medicine and that her father will come and help. But the Muslim man said again, "It is better for my wife to die rather than being touched by a stranger." Now Ida was confused why these people wouldn't let her father help them. Then again she went back to her study. Again, for the third time, there was a knock on the door. This time, a Hindu man came and asked the same thing, and Ida gave the same reply. This man also didn't agree and went away. Ida felt so sad for these people and went to sleep. The next morning, she woke up to very loud and strange sounds. She opened the door and saw 3 funeral processions, and they were of the wives of the 3 men that came last night. She She was deeply saddened and cried in front of the Lord. Then Jesus asked Ida, "Are you willing to sacrifice your dreams and life for these people?" Immediately she said yes, and she started God's mission. She returned back to America and joined in Philadelphia Women's Medical College, and in 1895 she finished her studies in Cornell Medical College. After completing her studies, she came back to India. In 1900, in Vellore, a small city next to Madras, she established the Christian Medical College, now famously known as CMC Vellore. She gave tremendous medical services to the poor people. Even Mahatma Gandhi, the father of India, was also impressed for her sacrifice and service. He visited her and appreciated her hard work. Like this, Ida Scudder saved the lives of many people. Now CMC Vellore is one of the top 10 hospitals of India.